Yes, changing the life of widows. Ram Mohan Rai was particularly moved by the problems widows faced in their lives. He began a campaign against the practice of sati. Ram Mohan Rai was well versed in Sanskrit, Persian, and several other Indian and European languages. He tried to show through his writings that the practice of widow burning and no sanction in ancient texts by the early 19th century, as you have read in chapter 6 and 7. Many British officials and also began to criticize Indian traditions and customs. Next, they were therefore more than willing to listen to Ram Mohan Rai, who was reputed to be a learned man. In 1829, Sati was banned. Next, the strategy adopted by Ram Mohan Rai was used by later reforms as well. Whenever they wished to challenge a practice that seemed harmful, they tried to find a verse or sentence in the ancient sacred text that supported their point of view. Next, they then suggested that the practice as it existed at the present was against yearly tradition. Next, for instance, one of the most famous reforms, Ishwaracharya Vidyasagar, used the ancient text to suggest that widows could remarry. His suggestions was adopted by British official and a law was passed in 1856 permitting and widow remarriage. Those who were against the remarriage of widows opposed Vidyasagar and even boycotted him. By the second half of the 19th century, the movement in favor of widows' remarriage spread to other parts of the country. In the Telugu speaking areas of the Madras Presidency, Patulu formed an association for widow remarriage. Around the same time, young intellectuals and reforms in Mumbai pledged themselves to working for the same cause. In the north, Swami Dayanand Saraswati, who founded the Reform Association called RSMSSB, also supported widow remarriage. Next, yet the number of widows who actually remarried remained low. Those who married were not easily accepted in society, and conservative groups continued to oppose the new law. Next, many of the reforms felt that education for girls was necessary in order to improve the condition of women. Next, Vidyasagar is Calcutta and many other reforms in Bombay set up school for girls. When the first school were opened in the mid 19th century, many people were afraid of them. They feared that schools would take girls away from home, prevent them from doing their domestic duties. Moreover, girls had to travel through public places in order to reach school. Many people felt that this would have a corrupting influence on them. Next, they felt that girls should stay away from public space. Therefore, throughout the 19th century, most educated women were taught at home by liberal fathers or husbands. Sometimes women taught themselves as next. Do you remember what you read out about Rasundri Devi in your book Social and Political Life last year? She was one of those who secretly learned to read and write in the flickering lighting of candles and night. Next, in the latter part of century, school for girls were established by the RSMSSB in Punjab and Jyotirao Phule in Maharashtra. Next, when girls' schools were first set up in the 19th century, it was generally believed that the curriculum for girls ought to be less taxing than that the boys. The Hindu Mahila Vidyalaya was one of the first institutions to provide girls with the kind of learning that was usual for boys at that time. Stop.